Welcome back to Healthwise. We're here with Dr. J.Y. Bordelon. We were talking about sleep disorders. Doc, you mentioned about people not getting enough sleep. I work shift work. I know a lot of people work shift work. Do you see an increased rate of sleep disorder from shift workers?
Absolutely. Our society needs people to work to keep things working throughout the day. So we're totally dependent on people working at nights and in various shifts. Ideally, it's best to work one shift all the time. So you'll notice when you go in the hospital now, the nurses will be working either day shift or night shift. And that's the best. When you have a rotating shift, it's your body's always trying to figure out where you need to be. And when you're young, it's pretty easy. As you get older, it's a little bit harder to make those adjustments. So one of the things that happens is individuals that work shift work, when they're working, when they're supposedly sleeping during the day, their circadian rhythm, the body's rhythm is not there. So you want to try and do things to encourage your body to go to sleep. The keys are not to get a lot of bright light exposure, because light is what triggers the circadian rhythm. So you want, ideally, if you get home and in bed and asleep before the sun comes up, that's a good shift. Okay. You want to make sure you allow yourself enough time, enough opportunity to sleep. If you're just giving yourself 4 or 5 hours, you can't drink enough caffeine to keep going. Eventually, it's going to catch up with you. And when people that are working shifts, they have more problems with marriage, depression, and starting to get other medical problems. There was a study recently looking at shift workers, what kind of problems they had, and everybody figured, well, it's going to be depression and marriage. They found increased risk of cancer.
Wow.
And that kind of floored everybody. There are reasons for all of this. When we go to sleep, there are things our body's doing to physically and mentally get us ready for the future, and we take that away, we lose that opportunity.
Okay. My mom always says, early to bed, early to rise. You know, and of course she's in her 80s now. And I know a lot of elderly people that have lived to a very ripe old age. And is that the key, that they're getting enough sleep? My mom is a firm believer in naps during the middle of the day. You know, she goes to bed early, but she's up every morning at 4:30 in the morning. You know, I mean, that's just without question. Every morning, 4:30, she wakes up.
You know, I think the key to long age is being physically active. And a lot of the elderly worked hard. I mean, they got out and they really did a lot of hard physical work. And I think that's, you know, part of the reason they're there. But absolutely good night's sleep, and then naps are good. If you look at societies like Spain and Italy,
Japan, I think even Japan has mandatory.
Well, they'll have little naps and stuff, and they may not have the same productivity as we have, but it helps to keep people going a long life.
Sure. Well, is there such a thing as too much sleep?
Yeah, there are some studies indicating that people that get too much sleep may not have quite the longevity, but that's probably not very many people these days. Yeah.
Especially these days.
Yeah.
Okay, if someone wants to schedule to come to the sleep study deal, how do they go about doing that?
You know, the physicians can refer them, or they can call directly. The number for the sleep center, I think, is on 943-7146, and the staff will be glad to address all of their needs and get them in and see us. And
so you said their doctor, so they have to get their doctor to refer them?
Either with the doctor's referral, or they can call directly.
Okay. So in other words, audience, if you've got some relatives that are driving you crazy, snoring, and you're worried, and it's just amazing to think that what we call in snoring may not necessarily be just snoring. It may be sleep apnea, and it may have some kind of physical effect. So I would suggest if you know someone that's having this problem and just a loud snorer but I guess it would be more than just snoring and stopping and whatever, and it's sounding like they are having difficulty breathing.
Oh yeah, it's interesting to hear them come in and imitate the noise that they're hearing all night long.
I could imagine. Well, Doc, it was a pleasure having you on Healthwise, and come back anytime. And audience, welcome. Thanks for coming to another issue of Healthwise, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks for having us.
Healthwise is brought to you in part by Opelousas General Health System.